What's up, guys? We're gonna brobeatz. Today I'm gonna show you guys how to make some pain melodies using a piano and a guitar. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop into it. So to get started, for the BPM, 150 to 160 is a good range, but you can obviously use whatever BPM you want. I might just kind of go in the middle. So for our scale, I'm gonna be using a minor, but you can use a major if you want. Let's use an E minor. And then here's the piano with the preset melodies. Let's go here. First thing we're gonna do is make a bass line. So we can start on the E, right? Because that's our root. Go up, and this is what I like to do personally. If you want to like continue the chord, you can. But I'm gonna make a dyad up, and then I'm gonna make a chord backwards from that, and then you can add a +1. And you can kind of do it like this or that. And the reason why this works is because if we do this, just to show you why it's working, if we make a chord all the way up, you'll notice that all these notes overlap. So that's why we're able to go backwards and forward. That's kind of where that +1 method came from. So now we can just pull these out, and then I'm gonna just give it a rhythm and pull these out like that. So I'm gonna zoom in a bit. I want to keep everything in frame. Let's pull this down. We're gonna take this E, and we're gonna make a chord again. So we're gonna make the E minor chord. I'm gonna take these two notes and pull them up, and then we're just going to kind of pull them out. You can kind of like animate them how you want, and then I'm just going to copy it all the way over. And then on this side, I'm gonna add something extra so we can pull this in so we can keep the same rhythm, right? And then we're gonna make a chord upward, pull it here, and I'm just giving you some ideas on some things you can do, so it's not the exact same. All right, so now we kind of have our melody going, and I'm gonna pull this back so it ends. And obviously I would mess with the velocity as well, but for time's sake, I'm not going to. I'm just kind of keep everything the same. And then maybe we can just add like 1 to lead into it. So now what we can do, take our B right here. We're gonna make a chord, pull these back, pull it up, okay? And then you can kind of do the same thing if you want to. If you want to do that little same method, you can. So like if you want a +1 up or down, you can kind of do that. We're just gonna pull these back, and let's pull this G up, Shift D to make it smaller. And then we just kind of copy it over. Let's make sure we put it in the right spot. I'm gonna pull it up. Do something like that. Oops. And let's make it a little bit more sad. All right, so that is our melody. I'll play it one more time, and then we'll add a top melody on top. Okay, so let's go ahead and add something up top just to make it a little bit more unique. Now the final part, we're just gonna add like a top melody, and this will just pretty much kind of make your melody super unique, because we kind of just use tricks, which we'll still do. For example, we can take this right here. So if we make a chord out of this, we can copy this up an octave, and then we can use this as a range for our melody. So we can kind of go from here to other places. So let's something like this, and then we can kind of end on one of these notes. So right, super simple. I'm gonna pull this back, just give it a little bit more space. Let's do a flam here, and I'm holding Alt and dragging so I'm not locked to a grid. And I want to keep this same thing going, but I'm gonna pull it down like this. And I'll edit the velocity after this just so it's not so like robotic. And then we can end it here. Let's see. All right, so that is our top melody. I'm gonna go ahead and edit the velocity a bit, and then we can go ahead and use the guitar. Next up, we have our guitar here. So it's just our guitar with some reverb on. So what we're gonna do is pretty much recreate our bass line like we had. Just kind of throw that in. And then we're gonna kind of do the same process, except you can kind of think outside the box, or if you just want to like, I don't know, we can do something like this and then just kind of take what we have. Something like that. Maybe that'll work. Let me see. I kind of like to strum it a little bit. Let me see. And then one thing I like to do is kind of let, like, whenever the piano is being non-active, I kind of like to throw the guitar in a bit, but I think this is working out pretty fine. Like right here is a perfect spot to put that note because the piano is kind of quiet there. Oops. I'm gonna pull this back. And if we can keep this same rhythm, but just kind of change the notes up a bit. Let's do this. Okay, I like that better, and we're gonna just pull this down to finish it off. Just like so. Let's play it. All right, so that is our guitar. So now we're just gonna fill in the rest of our instruments with like our vocal and stuff like that. Now we have our vocals from Hooked. And I just picked this one, put it in E minor. I don't really plan on doing too much with it, just like to add depth, so it's not just straight up just a piano guitar. So I'm just gonna find. I want this, I want something else here. Let's see. I think I'm good with that. Like I said, I didn't want to have too much going on, just some depth. I probably need to like turn this down though. Probably pan it a bit. All right, so let's add our bass in last and we'll be done. So here's our bass. Now this isn't needed. I just kind of like to have this to kind of finalize the melody, just so it has those low frequencies in there. So we could just copy this and we could just kind of be done, because I think everything is sounding good. Pop that in and probably pull that down. So I'll just repeat it once or twice. All right, and of course you would, once you map this out, you would like take the parts and, make sure there's low points, high points, etc., and maybe add variation. But that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.